All right, it is a really windy day here in northern Maine. Just got done rained all day yesterday, and it's getting into fall, the end of September, and I'm starting to move a little bit towards logging mode. So all summer I was working on the farm, cutting hay and all that sort of thing, and so I hadn't been in the logging stuff yet, but I have the woodlot that I finished last winter at. I only cut one load of wood there, and there's a bunch of work to do. And you're gonna see it's changed a lot since winter if you watch that past video. So I need to do some work there so that I can get log truck and vehicles and everything in and out of that woodlot by the time things freeze up and I can get in there and cut wood. So anyway, here I just loaded up my skid steer, and you can notice that there's a shiny new toy on this thing. This puppy is called a front hoe, kind of like a backhoe, but made for skid steer. Come from Titan Attachments, and I just I hooked it all up the other day. I tooled around with it a little bit. It's very simple. It's not your traditional backhoe, but it's also doesn't come with the price tag. This thing was $1,900 shipped, so less than half, well under half the cost of a traditional backhoe. And of course it doesn't swing side to side like a backhoe does, but you use the skid steer to swing side to side. And I use the tilt on the skid steer bucket instead of having an articulating or a kind of a swiveled boom. You just have the swiveled bucket here, and then you use the skid steer loader to do that tilt on that side. Just two hydraulic ports there, and the one main hookup that are standard on most skid steers, and that's just to go in and out the hydraulic cylinder to control the curl of the bucket. I got a 12-inch bucket here. I think that's going to do the job that I need it to do. Skid steer, it's old, it's underpowered, but it's what I have, and we're gonna try to do the best we can. I got an estimate. All right, well, I didn't get an estimate. I had some other work done. I had a gravel pad put in over there this spring, and yeah, sticker shock. So the price of gravel is double what it was several years ago when I had my driveway put in here. So I couldn't afford to pay for gravel over there. So I'm basically, and could probably afford a little bit of dirt work, but then again, it's hard to get people. And I could be waiting for another month to get someone over there with an excavator. So this way I can pick away at it myself, and when I'm all done, hopefully it all works out, and I'll have a hoe attachment to use on other projects on in woodlots and on the farm. So I'm gonna get this chained down and drive over to the woodlot. All right, we are here. Let's see if you can see my predicament here. We'll go and check the approach out and see what we got to do. So you may recognize this from earlier, from late winter. I cut a load of wood here. Trouble is, this was the old winter road that I kind of used. But that is wet. That is really wet ground. That whole winter road area is really wet and soggy. God, that wind's picking up. And here is a big pile of gravel. It's hard to tell, but it's probably 2 feet higher than the rest of the ground. So I can't get onto the road from there. I kind of am stuck going where this winter road is, and it's too wet. I was going to have excavator come in and dump truck and bring a bunch of gravel, but the price tag was way too high. Here on the other side around this tree, we have a big berm here as well. And then this stuff, when we were cutting this, there was a couple feet of snow on the ground, and all these tree roots and stumps, those were all everything was kind of flattened out because of the way, the snow was. We were able to pack down the snow and smooth everything out. Well, now they're sticking a foot or two off the ground. You get that big berm there on the roadside, and then what we have here is just a bunch of pockets and pillows of dirt and debris and organic matter and everything else. So we got kind of a a big mess here. It'd be fine if we waited till next March, but I want to cut in here in December or January, whenever things start to freeze down. In order to be able to do that, I'm gonna have to smooth a lot of this stuff out and cut some of these stumps down, dig some of them out where I can, and take down all the high areas and smooth them out, and kind of just get everything sort of flat so I can travel over it with the machines, and stack logs, and maybe get a log truck in here too. So anyway, that's gonna be a long process. I got a lot to do. I'm not gonna try to do it all at once. I'm just gonna get to work and take my time, start by the road, and work my way in. All right, well, kind of running out of battery in this camera. I forgot my other batteries, so we'll see what we can do. But making some pretty good progress here. Just got started, and I broke out that initial bank. I've been working at this for maybe 20-30 minutes, and I already have that first gravel pile flattened out. This bucket, this little front hoe thing, is working pretty good, man. It's pretty slick. It's a little bit wet to work in, but I've been cutting off that bank and depositing stuff down into here, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. So as you can see, that tree's kind of a pain. I don't want to, it needs to come down, but they just put up some telephone wires here, and I don't want to drop it on the wires. So yeah, I'm just gonna work around it. Maybe Mother Nature will take care of it. But anyway, yeah, I'm just cutting into that bank, and gonna work my way in, and just keep depositing into this low area and make a nice flat spot. So we'll keep at it. Good morning. Well, I've done kind of a poor job of updating you on what's going on here on my property, but I spent a couple days here digging out banks and flattening things out and burning brush and clearing brush so we can get ready to cut some wood here. So today we're gonna haul gravel. So there's the approach. This was all big tall bank from the road that you couldn't access, and I cleared that up, took care of that tree, and now the new driveway is going to be right about here. This morning we're going to have gravel hauled in, and I'm going to spread it with the skid steer and move it right behind where that excavator is, beyond that to the woods, so we can have a bit of a road to bring logs in, because I was getting stuck in all this wet ground. It's just not conducive to running machines through without making a mess and getting stuck. So we'll have a road up there, and then we'll be able to go to our trails in the woods. All right, that thing worked awesome. That skid steer front hoe attachment worked great. So got a bunch of this stuff dug out with it. Pretty happy with that. So anyway, still spending money. Hopefully we can get to logging here pretty soon so we can start making some of it back. All right, so we're finishing up here. 6 loads of gravel, about 15 yards a load, so about 90 yards. And dump truck kept dumping it. I kept spreading it with my skid steer. Run over it with the little excavator to pack it down, and it looks like it turned out pretty good. So we got a nice open pad for next to the road for me to be able to stack lumber. Probably pile logs over here on the side. And then here's the small road for my tractor. It's just the width of the tracks on the excavator. And we'll be using this to access the rest of the woods. You can see how uneven and stumps and dips and everything. That was just a mess, and it was all wet. I kept getting stuck. This is gonna be nice. So I'll be able to yard out wood this. We've kind of got it low so we can approach with the little tractor onto the different little trails into the woods. So I think this will be the main trail that I'll come out and access a bunch of that wood that we're looking at right ahead of us, that we'll be cutting with the processor. So I think it turned out pretty good. Now I just have to go and start doing a little more work in the processor, and then I have a load of wood I got to do some cutting back at my home farm for. I have 1 load I'm gonna go get there, and I'll probably take you through that. And by the time I'm done that, I'm gonna take that tractor over here, hook on the grapple, and get ready to start cutting here. I was gonna have to wait till we get freeze up and some snow, but now that I got gravel, I can do it any time as soon as I'm ready. So we'll give it a go.